actually is kind of an interesting concept, because it actually is relevant to the reciprocal S. It's just not the way the person's talking about it. It doesn't mean that you flip it 90 degrees or whatever, or 180 degrees or 90 degrees. And it's like flipping it 90, and it doesn't even mean you flip it 90 degrees in a reciprocal lattice situation. It means like the point is it could relate to stuff like in hyperbolic coordinates. Parallel lines don't appear parallel as they diverge farther and farther. It relates to the tangent stuff. There's some kind of concept that you can develop, and I'm sure there's a way of reaching the kind of concept that I mean, basically the extent of Jane and my, or whoever's stuff up to now was that basically you can't talk about. So you have to talk about the point of origin as being a distribution. You can't ever talk about a single perspective on a coordinate system, really. That's why it becomes impossible to talk about it, and that's why you can never make kind of simplistic statements about it, because it not even about in math or whatever. You look at it in terms of like one vector field or something, and then another vector field, and another or something, and lattices or something. You just wouldn't talk about your perspective on a coordinate system as being. You wouldn't talk about an event as being modeled in terms of one perspective on a vector field, even, or whatever. It's just, you just wouldn't even talk about it. I don't know how you talk about it, but there are all sorts of ways you could talk about it, and it's like that's an example of the kind of thing where if you look at it from any number of different ways, you keep coming back to the same conclusion, which is that you have to model things in terms of. You really do, though. You have to model it that way, and you really do. You really have to think about it differently. It's just, I don't know how you think about it. The point is, it does have some validity for that. Where if you're talking about something moving rapidly or moving more quickly than you are or whatever, you can't talk about it in the same way. You can't talk about its perturbances, and that's what the person's doing. It's not smart. It's sort of like the person is managing. The person's managing it both from a very distant perspective. It's like watching something moving very, very fast, but the person's also pretending to be managing it, is making decisions on it as if he or she is both present at the same speed or whatever,